I have been living without a car in one of the coldest places in North America for the past 2 months. Having grown up mostly in North America and in cities such as Los Angeles, where you really are dependent on having a vehicle to go anywhere, it was just so hard for me to imagine living without a car. I myself have been driving for the past 12 years. Ever since I was in college, I've had a car and I've used a car for my daily commutes and weekend travels. And I'm actually someone who fully enjoys the experience of driving. I'm not one of those people who get stressed out behind the wheel. I love taking my car out for a drive on the weekend. Driving was kind of a therapy for me, and even back in Los Angeles where there was heavy traffic, I never really thought it was that bad. So how did I go from someone who never left the house without a car to someone who has now lived through a Canadian winter without a car? Well, today I'm going to tell you that it's definitely possible to live a very comfortable and modern life in Canada without a car, to hopefully encourage people who are more budget conscious or to convince people who are maybe thinking of trying to live a more environmentally conscious and health conscious lifestyle. So the first major benefit of not having a car is how much money it can save you. If you've owned a car, you definitely know this. Having a car is a lot more expensive than you would expect. It's not just the payment for the car that you have to account for, but there's a bunch of other spending such as car insurance, which could cost anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 annually, car registration, which is at least a couple $100s nowadays, car maintenance and repair, which can also cost up to thousands of dollars if you have a luxury vehicle or if your car has any sort of problems, parking, as well as things like gas and car washes. So all in all, I've calculated that I actually spent about $9,000 per year on my car. And this is actually pretty normal from what I hear. Like, I'm definitely not overpaying any of my car expenses. Some people could pay up to $15,000 for their car if they have a luxury vehicle or if their car is very gas consumption or if they just haven't paid that much down on their car. So if you think about it, $9,000 is a lot of money to save. And even if you end up taking some extra Uber rides or buying some Metro passes to cover your regular commutes, it's nowhere going to be as expensive as $9,000 per year. The second reason why you should consider not having a car is if you want to live a simpler lifestyle. Even though a car is just one material item, but let me tell you that one item could take up so much of your mental space. From little things such as worrying about parking tickets to bigger items such as worrying about car theft or accidents. Having a car just means you have to constantly keep these things in the back of your mind. Even if I'm not someone who stress drives, thoughts such as keeping my car safe or keeping it well maintained without any major issues is just something that's constantly on my mind. But now living without a car, I definitely don't have to worry about any of those things, and it just declutters my mental space a lot. Another way not having a car could simplify your life is by getting rid of some of the distractions it could offer your life. So what do I mean by that? When I had a car in Los Angeles, there was just a lot of options of what I could do with my time. Every weekend, I wanted to explore a new area, a new restaurant, maybe go on a short weekend trip, or maybe just drive somewhere far and go for a hike. There were just infinite ways of going out to explore, to spend money with my car. I'm someone who actually has a lot of things I want to do during the weekend. I have a lot of hobbies and a lot of things I need to accomplish, things such as filming for this YouTube channel or painting. All of these things kind of require me to be in a more calm and focused state of mind. So not having a car actually got rid of a lot of my needs to go out and consume and actually got rid of a lot of my fear of missing out. I spent a lot more time at home accomplishing these other things I wanted to do, and I just feel a lot more relaxed and distraction free with my free time. Of course, it's not like I'm spending my time indoors all the time on the weekend. I definitely still go out, explore my neighborhood, or explore around the town with Metro. The third reason, and probably the biggest reason actually, for not having a car is that it forces you to have a healthier lifestyle. For a lot of us who were dependent on having a car to get us to places, we tended to forget the fact that we have legs. We forget that we are human beings and that our bodies are actually built to walk a long distance, carrying a lot of stuff, and to do these daily movements without depending on a vehicle. Our ancestors have lived for thousands of years, transporting themselves on foot and doing all kinds of menial labor. And that proves that our body is capable of doing all of that. So now, without a car, we are actually forced to make all of our outings on foot. And I feel like it's made my body stronger and more resilient. So we do our groceries on foot. We have a little cart that we can trolley around when we do heavy groceries. And then we also go to restaurants and cafes on foot. And sometimes, because we have 2 cats, when we take them to the vet, we'll also go on foot, which is about 25 minutes walking distance. We are lucky enough to be living in a more urban area. Our apartment is not too far from downtown Montreal, so we do have access to great public transportation. But at the same time, we're also living in one of the coldest cities and constantly walking outside in way below freezing weather. So there's definitely some challenges to this lifestyle. But I would say none of these things are challenges that your body cannot handle. And that's something that's just very empowering for you to realize. Now, at this point, some of you might say that, hey, I'm just someone who loves to drive, go adventure beyond the urban area, and I just need my car. Well, to that I say, just because you don't have a car doesn't mean you can't venture out. With the $10,000 per year that you've saved, you can take so many weekend trips. You can rent a car if you need. You can take Uber rides to the other side of the town if you need. We've done a skiing trip by renting out a car for 2 days, and it was super easy to do. And if you're someone who wants to travel further internationally, then not having a car could really help you to save up that fund. Like $9,000 could easily cover 2 pretty luxurious international trips during the year. So finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this. At first, we were thinking about potentially buying a car, but then when we really thought about it, there's just not that much of a need for a car. We're both people who are busy with our lives, and with our free time, we both got these creative projects that we'd like to accomplish. And so having a car is just not going to be super useful for us. Of course, I totally understand that there are a lot of people, a lot of families out there who really, really do need that vehicle. Families with kids or older people, it's just going to be hard for them to manage their daily lives without a car. But for us, we are really trying to consume less, and especially on things that we don't have a need for. Having a car and traveling a lot is just part of that package of a very luxurious Western lifestyle of overconsumption. And I just wanted to be more mindful of that and also maybe challenge myself to see if I can live without that. And now I can definitely say that this is very doable. We can definitely live a very comfortable and modern lifestyle without having a car. And in general, it just goes to show that with a lot of material goods, we actually need a lot less than we think. Just because you don't have certain material goods doesn't mean that you can't live comfortably and doesn't mean that you can't live a fulfilling lifestyle. Sometimes living a fulfilling lifestyle actually means living a very simple lifestyle and forgoing some of the luxuries and some of the excitements and some of the shiny objects that the society offers you. Remember that ultimately having those things has nothing to do with living a happy and fulfilling life. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a peaceful rest of the day. Bye.